Welsleys sold Dangan and the estate in the early 1800s to Colonel Burrows, who leased the property out. Roger O'Connor was born in Cork. He and his brother Arthur became United Irishmen. Roger served time in prison in Cork, London and Scotland. Strongly influenced by the French Revolution, Roger O'Connor went to Dangan Castle with the intention of entertaining Napoleon there following the expected French invasion of Ireland. In 1809, Dangan was burned shortly after Roger had taken out insurance for £5,000 on it. It was a serious fire that destroyed part of the house. Roger's son, Francisco, wrote in his autobiography 60 years later that he had accidentally started the fire himself when melting lead to create bullets. But it was probably purposely set on fire for the insurance money. The house and domain were dismantled of every article that could be converted into money by Roger. Roger forced his landlord, Colonel Burrows, or his agent, to call to Dangan to pay his rent in 1813. The agent, Mr. Humphrey Doyle, postmaster of Trim, called to Dangan and received the rent of £750, mostly in £1 notes, from O'Connor. As he left the house with the bag of money, he was robbed. What a coincidence! Of course, it was thought that Roger had arranged it, but it was never proven. In 1817, Roger was arrested for having led a band of his retainers in robbing the Galway coach at the Turnpike Gate at Kappa Hill near Cloncurry on the 2nd of October 1812. Some of the mail bags and firearms were discovered at Dangan. 10 highwaymen had attacked and held up the coach. 2 of those involved, named Owen and Waring, were apprehended for a robbery in 1817, tried in Dublin and found guilty. They received a sentence of death, but the day before the execution, their lives were spared as they charged Roger with being the leader of the raid on the Galway Mail. Roger was arrested and tried in Trim. He was acquitted, but there were strong grounds to believe that he had planned the affair. The son of O'Connor's agent later asserted that this raid was made by O'Connor in the quest of a packet of love letters written by his friend Sir Francis Burdett, which would have likely been used in evidence against Burdett in a court case. In 1822, O'Connor published the Chronicles of Eru, and this, he said, was a translation from the Phoenician dialects of the Scythian language. It was really mostly his imagination. It was fashionable at the time to suggest that the Irish race originated in the Middle East, India, or even the steppes of Russia. The family no longer felt welcome in the area. Francis and his brother Fergus decided to leave, stealing horses from their brother Roderick, travelling to London and asking to be taken care of by their family friend Francis Burdett. Roger had one son by Louisa Strachan, Roderick O'Connor, who lived for a time on the Dangan estate before emigrating to Van Diemen's Land, where the family still have a large farm. The property today is a huge property called Connorville and is run by Roderick O'Connor and his family. The Queen even stayed there on a visit to Australia in 1954. Roger married secondly Wilhelmina Bowen, and one of those children was Francis or Francisco O'Connor, the supporter of South American independence movements, general and then Minister of War in Bolivia. A second son, Fergus O'Connor, was a political activist and chartist in England. As a young man, Fergus pursued a keen interest in horse racing at Dangan. Roger O'Connor died in 1843 and is buried at Kilcrea Abbey in County Cork. The damage that he did to Dangan meant that it was never repaired and never lived in again as a house, and today it stands neglected.